There are some specific issues you need to consider for time series data preparation. First, you need a key that denotes the time. Might be integer or might be date. If this is an integer, you have to give the integer a context, whether we are talking about days or months or years, for example. Even more important question is how much historical data do you want to use? Imagine that the object you are forecasting changes quickly and becomes obsolete quickly. Then you probably don't want to include too much history in your forecasting. For example, imagine that you are forecasting the mobile phone model's sales. If you would use all of the history of mobile phones, then your forecast for next year would probably be that the best seller would be Nokia 6310. What I mean is that with too much historical data, you actually forecast the past. Forecasting the future is what you want to do. However, this is a bit harder. You can use more historical data if you use more broad categories of your forecasting objects. You can use categorizations or aggregations. For example, you can use product taxonomies like product categories and subcategories and try to forecast subcategories instead of a specific product. Or you can aggregate or bin products in groups like cheap mobile phone models and expensive mobile phone models. Patterns for groups do not change so quickly, so you can use more historical data. Next thing, you have to realize what are parts of a time series. So a classical decomposition splits time series into trend, seasonality, cycles, and noise. Trend gives you the actual difference from the previous time point, whether you get growth or not. Seasonality shows you seasonal changes. Imagine you have sales and probably sales go up every December and then down every January. Cycles are kind of the same thing as seasonality, just on longer periods. Typically, we can talk about economical cycles. When economical state is good, all of the sales goes up, and when the state of a country is not that good, all of the sales goes down. Cycles are typically hard to detect in your datasets. And what's left in a time series after you remove trend, seasonality and cycles is the noise or errors. So to get accurate results according to your business needs, many different techniques might be necessary. For example, you might want to detrend your time series, for example, to get rid of inflation. Or you can filter and smooth your data to remove seasonality. Also, you might want to standardize or normalize the time points.